In this video, we're going to use what we've learned about the overall organizing elements, such as divs and sectioning tags, to add the basic overall structure that we have for the pages of our site. So we're going to start by looking again at our wireframes, and you'll notice that each of our pages has a consistent header at the very top. They also have a consistent footer at the very bottom. And what falls in between is sort of the main content area, and obviously that's going to be a little bit different from one page to the other. As we look at this, we have a couple of different page templates. So these are all unique pages, these first four. But then down here, every article page is going to have this same structure, and every product page is going to have this structure. Okay, so we can still create a one-size-fits-all structure overall if we have a header, a main, and a footer in our site. So let's get up in close here on one of these and see what all we need to put into that. Okay, so obviously we're going to be putting our actual site name and actual content in later, but let's go set up this structure based on what we see here. So pulling up our code sandbox, you may recall in a previous deliverable we put in just these placeholder headings. So we're going to remove that and instead put in our header tag and our main tag and our footer. All right, so we have those three pieces, and that doesn't really make any tasteful impact on the actual page. So let's go in and now put in something more meaningful. We'll start with an H1 that will be our actual site branding. So we may change this a little bit later once we do our design work, but I know mine is going to be remote life. Okay, there is the H1. Then we need a tagline, which is probably going to be a paragraph. So I'll just put paragraph tagline. And later we'll come in and update that. And then next of all, we need a navigation bar. So that would be good to use the nav tag for that. And the customary thing to do is to put the list of items inside the nav bar inside of an unordered list. So each item is going to have a hyperlink. So we'll have home, and then we'll duplicate this down for each of our other items. To quickly duplicate a given line onto the next line below, you can hold Alt-Shift or Option-Shift and then press down, and you'll get a duplicate. So this is the about, oops, and this is products. Oops, let's do articles first, and products. I actually think I have the order wrong there. So it looks like about goes last. So with your cursor on one line, you can also just hold Alt on its own and down or up, and you can move that line up and down. So we have one extra item there. So home, articles, products, and about. Home, articles, products, and about. Okay, so again, this is all just list items and hyperlinks inside, but we do need to go in and make sure that we put the correct path in for each of these. So our home page needs to point right here to this very same index.html file that we are in. Articles, on the other hand, needs to point into the articles folder to the index.html folder or file there. So we're going to go articles, index.html. Okay, we'll do the same thing for products. And then about is back out here in this same folder, so we'll just put about.html. Okay, there you go. We can see all these different pieces, and we should be able to click and navigate to each of those sections. Now, we don't have the full navigation on all of those yet, so we will need to be able to put all this into the rest of the pages in order to navigate around. Okay, so let's do that. Let's take this whole header. Oops, there's one more thing we need to do. We typically will also put a hyperlink around the branding name up here at the top, pointing to index.html. So we put that hyperlink in. We need to make sure that it closes out here. All right, now we're good to go. Okay, so we're going to grab, you know what, let's just do a little bit more so that we can copy and paste more into the other pages. So we need our copyright, and you're free to use the same copyright content that is here. I'm just double clicking into it to get it to copy and paste it. But we are going to look a little closer at it and make sure that it says something accurate. This site is demonstration created by, and then your student. So we'll put my name in here. For coursework completed at Cedarville University, content shown here retains the rights of readers. Okay, that's all good. All right, so we've got our header and our footer, and then in the main area, now let's just put an H2 in here with the actual page name. And again, in later deliverables, once again, we'll come and update that. Spelling it right is always nice. Okay, so once again, we can duplicate this into all of our other pages. So let's do that carefully though, because it's not just complete duplication everywhere we go. So first we'll drop this in here to the About page. Now, as we move into the other folders, the products and the articles folders, we have just a few other changes we need to make, but generally we can copy and paste this in. Now, I'm just going to paste it over the entire page here, and then just change to articles. Okay, but note that we do need to update the paths in this context, because now the index file in this folder is the articles file. So if we want to point to the actual main homepage, it's out here one layer. So we're going to need the magic escalator here and here for the homepage. Same thing will need to happen to the About page. And in this context, in order to point to the products page, we also have to go out a layer and then back into products. So that is the correct path there. Last of all, since that we're here in the articles folder, we no longer need the articles folder at the front of the articles page here, okay? All right, so now we're going to want to copy and paste this into each of our article pages, making sure that we update all the names in those pages as well, so that we have article 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, etc. So we can copy the whole thing, go to one of those article pages, paste it in, and then update our name. Like so. Okay, we just repeat that process for all of the other articles. Now in the products section, we can do something similar. I'm just pasting all of this in and updating to the product's name here. Okay, we still need to go out to the index.html file for the main homepage. We still need to go out to About, but we no longer need to do that for products, so we can pull this out, but we do need to do that for articles. Okay, so now let's copy and paste this into each of our product pages. All right, so now we should have all of these things updated correctly to point to each of our different pages. So let's try navigating around. We're going to give this a good refresh and see if we can get around. So there's the home page, there's articles, products, about, and etc., etc. We can get all the way around to all the different pages that we want. And in the next deliverables, we'll actually add the page content so we can actually drill into the individual articles as well. But that gets us off to a great start. So when we have this all set up the way that we need to have it set up, we should have the home page like this. The About page is just the same, just we have the About text in there. Then on the articles pages, we need to have articles, and the paths need to look like this. Then we need to have the same thing here in each of the article pages, just making sure that we've updated the name of each of the page so that they're all pointing to the or indicating the correct page. All right, the product section should be the same way with different paths so that we're pointing out to the right folders, keeping inside of the products folder otherwise, and then each product name should be in place as well, 4 and 5. Okay,